afternoon and welcome to We Repair. So it's been quite a while since I've recorded anything. I've been rather busy with private life and things going on in my world, trying to get through my CCNP, if those of you out there know what that is. So I've got a bit of an interesting one today. I have not long purchased this PC off of eBay. It was sold as a bit of a formerly gaming PC. I know next to nothing about it. The only thing they said is that last time I turned it on, it just beeped at them and wouldn't do anything. I've not validated that. I've not looked at the components. They've already told me the hard drive has been removed. But said otherwise, last time it was shut down, it was in good working order. So I've done no testing or triage or even looked at what components are inside. So I'm going to open it up with you now. We'll go through the motions and we'll see if we can tell what's what. I apologise, I've got a bit of a cold as well, so if I sound a bit croaky, that's why. So as I say, this is first open. I've not looked at it yet. I know nothing about it. The seller did give very, very basic information. I know it has 8 gig of RAM in it. I don't know what processor it's got. I had seen a picture of the motherboard, so I haven't looked at that. I know it was capable of taking a Ryzen 5, but as to anything else, I don't know. From the outset, it doesn't look in horrible condition. There's a bit of gunge along the bottom. I don't know if you can see there. The power supply is pretty gunked up as well, so that will all need addressing. I just thought it might be fun to have a go. I don't know what this is. Wireless card. Okay. So what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to strip it down entirely, remove everything, have a look at what components are in here, give everything a really good clean, redo the thermal paste. I can see in there the fan is looking pretty gummed up as well, so I'm going to do that and get that tidy. I'll just take the back off as well. You can see I just walked it through into where I am. It's got a bit rained on, but hopefully it'll be fine. Oh, it's a nice fan there. All in all, it doesn't look horrendous. I think it'll be a nice project build to do. I think cable management needs to be addressed a bit. But I think on the whole, there is a USB 3 header there as well that hasn't been plugged in. Don't know if this board is capable of even doing USB 3, so that'll take a bit of discovery as well. So let's get this graphics card out and have a look and see what it is. I wouldn't imagine it's going to be anything fantastic. Or it is an NVIDIA one. NVIDIA what? That is the question. I have absolutely no idea. That's going to take some Googling. It says G544 on there, but I don't know if that is an actual model of NVIDIA card. It looks like a very low-end one, but that's fine. This will do for my kids to do some very basic gaming on. I'll give that a take apart a bit further and have a look and see if it's real gunked up. To me, from what I could see through the case, this looks like the nastiest, cheapest graphics wireless card ever. Yeah, 100 meg, wireless B, wireless G. Well, that's going to go straight in the bin, and we'll get rid of that. I'm not going to invest any money in that at all. Ballistics. This is, looks like DDR3, 1600. Not terrible, not brilliant. Again, might be worth an upgrade. We'll have a look at that. Start taking some of these out, see what's connected, what's not. Get this motherboard out. So it's an ASRock motherboard. Looks pretty tidy. I think at some point they had 2 hard drives in here, judging by the fact that there's 2 cables doing nothing. So unplug that. Come on. That's audio. I understand why people put these funky little speakers on the board. Sometimes they're useful, I guess. At least someone's thought about that and they've taped all the connectors together so you can plug them back in. That's the board out. Let's take this fan off. Oh, proper grub. Can we make out what that is? I cannot. I have a cloth over here. Hopefully you can get this off. Thermal paste looks not very crusty, so that's good. This is an AMD A6 6400. For reading about this board, that can definitely be upgraded. The question is, what do I want to? Not terrible, not brilliant. Definitely needs a clean with some IPA. Maybe a blast of hot air as well. Not the worst motherboard in the world. But again, it all just needs a really good clean, so that's going to be first thing to do. Popping that off to one side. And then finally, let's just drop this power supply out. I think the power supply, to be honest with you, looks like it's probably seen better days. But yeah, so I'm going to give everything a good clean first, and then we'll see if we can get it to post. Once I know everything's in a tidy state, then we'll go that way. Okay, what are we called on here? Would have been nice to have had a modular supply, but you can't win them all. Cool, right, so here we have a Ace power supply. So say it is a 600 watt one. That is debatable. But either way, you can see how grubby that fan is, so that does need sorting. I wonder if this front panel comes off. Oh, it does. Cool. Right, can we get this out? It's a little bit nasty as well. That could do sorting. And finally, we have got a fan here, which again, that needs sorting out as well. So these are all things that need dealing with. Oh, never know, this one might actually be even some kind of cheapo LED one. Yeah, look, there's some real nasty little LEDs there. So I think maybe I'll see if I can recover that, and if not, we'll replace it. Right, so not too bad on the whole for a 30 quid purchase. There is something questionable drip there, and quite a lot of dust. So let me get some cleaning supplies, because this side looks like it needs some love as well. Let's get some cleaning supplies and see if we can recover some of this, and we'll work our way through the components and go from there. Right, so now we move on to the more sensitive bit. Needless to say, I will not be using this on it. So I have some isopropyl, I will give it a good going over with the paintbrush, and that should get most of the dust off. I'm also going to give it a blast with an air duster. I've got a Cyber Clean air blaster, not a can, because the cans can kill it if you're not very careful. So I'm going to give it a good blast with that first before I do any more. So immediately you should see a bit of a difference. It's not perfect, there's still some dust build-up around the edges of the processor up here, so it still needs a bit of work. As I say, I've got isopropyl to one side, so I'm going to just go around these bits and then I'll let it dry. So that's our motherboard nice and clean. I'm going to give this processor a really good clean. Probably take the fan off of there, so remove the fan and then be able to get to the stuff underneath. So we'll do that quickly now. And then I can give the fan a really good going over. Oh god, those screws are in there well. See how gunky this is. Again, my air duster will make light work of this. And then I should be able to give the fan just a good wipe over. And then it's just a question of reapplying the thermal paste to the underside. Oh, I haven't done enough. Oh, yummy. Let's give that a really good clean off. Alright, there we go, that's the block a bit better. I'll just give that thermal compound a wipe off. In fact, actually that's pretty stuck on there, so that's probably quite old, that thermal compound. So on that basis, trusty IPA, hopefully that'll loosen everything up a bit. Looks like, because the amount stuck behind the fins, they've either put too much on initially or it's been reapplied at some stage. Let's see if we can do something about this. Yeah, look at that. Immediately coming out there. Let's just go through and clear every one of those. I think someone went a bit crazy with the thermal compound when this was put together. Right, I'm going to take this away and clean it because this is going to take me 3 weeks, and I will come back to you once it's done and we'll move on to the next bit. But it's going to take me a while. And we're back, everything is now clean. So the case looks lovely and clean, that's all sorted out. All the panels are lovely and clean, the motherboard's clean. I've done as best I can a job with the fans. I've got the CPU fan here and the heatsink. This is all lovely and cleaned up as well, or at least as good as I can get it. I quickly popped some thermal paste on the motherboard, on the processor rather, God, I can't speak. Put some thermal paste on the processor. That's just a nice generic Cooler Master one, and we're going to get this heatsink put back on. The fan header is over here, so we're going to orientate it this way around just to make cables nice and aligned. I'm hoping this is just going to drop into place lovely and easy. He says. It's one side on. That's the other side on. And there we go. So that's attached on both sides, clipped in lovely. And we'll just pop this cable on here. It's a real shame it's the colour it is, because it's not the nicest. Let's see if I can tidy that up in a bit. Not a lot I can do with it really. And we'll also put the RAM in as well, just for ease later. So just trying to see on here if there's one that's slot 1, one that's slot 2. I think the one closest to the processor is slot 1 by the looks of things. So we'll go with that. So that's all attached. That's lovely and clicked in nice and tight. So I'm going to pop that off to one side now. Next thing I'm going to do, just for ease really, I'm going to get the power supply in first. So again, this is as cleaned up as well as I can get it. I did take this top cover off just to get to the fan below. It smells clean as well, which is much better than it was. Right, we're going straight for first boot here. I've not done any testing yet. All I've done is made the cable nice and tidy, and I put the back panel on just to hold everything in place. I have added the speaker back in, as much as that pains me, just as I want to hear for beep codes. But let's power this on and see what happens. I'm running on a DVI connection because that's all that I've got monitor-wise to hand, so hopefully that's all right. That's not quiet. What's fan is that? Not a power supply, not that. That's 5 beeps there for anyone who cares. That is the fan in the front. Okay, right, let's do some Googling and see what those beep codes mean, and then we'll go from there. I bet it's probably RAM or something stupid like that. Let's just flick this back off. I'll tell you what I will do first, actually, before doing anything else. Let's just disconnect the power, drain the board. Just going to move that RAM over to the other slot. Let's see if we can get anything out of it. Just try that first. Oh, that fan is horrible. Come on, anything? Nothing yet, hasn't posted. Ooh, okay. Next thing then. Just give it 30 more seconds, and then if it still doesn't post, we'll take the graphics card out and try booting directly off the board with no card in there. I haven't got a beep code this time, which is interesting. Let's just make sure it's not an input thing on my monitor. Monitor's definitely on. It's on display port. Let's just flick straight to that, and let's flick straight to analog, so it's not getting any signal. I wonder if we've got an issue with the graphics card. Okay, let's take that out. Let's drain the board. Let's take this graphics card out and try booting directly off of the main board. Straight off to that, move that out of the way. Plug directly into the board now. There's no graphics card in there. We attach our power. And on again. Still not seeing anything yet. I might move that RAM back and just see if it peeps again. Mono is definitely on. It's just gone to DVI. Now it's gone to analog. It's scrolling through and it's not finding anything. I do have a VGA connection on this screen as well, so let's just give that a quick go. See if it gives me anything on the VGA. No, nothing. Let's do that. Turn the board again. Let's swap this over. Put this back on. I'll have to have a look and see what RAM I've got, see if I've got anything compatible. Okay, look, here we go. We've actually got a screen now. F11 for boot menu. Okay, so that's a good sign. So the board is probably alive. So that's great. I'm going to put our graphics card back in and just try again. Maybe it just wasn't outputting, but why is it beeping? I don't know if you can see that on here because of the way the light is, but it definitely is posting. Okay, I'm going to do some more investigation off camera and I will report back in a minute. As you'll hopefully be able to make out, after quite a significant amount of swearing later, I've managed to get it up and running. Everything is exactly as it was, so just to move the keyboard out of the way, you can see everything's in there. The only thing that is additional, if I slide it up a bit, you'll see it's got a hard drive in it as well now. But otherwise, it's exactly as was before. All I had to do to get it up and running is reseat the RAM, give it another clean, give the graphics card connector a clean. I actually had to bend the chassis back a little bit because it was pulling the hard drive out, the graphics card out. And that's all I've done. It's now booting as expected. So next steps from here, I'm going to get Windows loaded back on, give it a really good test, order a replacement fan, now I know this is all working, order a new wireless card, and then once I've done all those things and got it all fitted, I'll hopefully be able to come back to you and show you the finished product. So guys, we're 1 week on. My voice has gone and come back, which is great, but the PC is finished. It is now working lovely. I will switch to a different shot in a minute and absolutely show you. So things that have changed, wireless card has arrived and is fitted. So that is great. We've got an SSD up top and a standard 500 gig disk down the bottom. We've kept the stock cooler. I was going to order another one, but I decided because this is effectively a budget build, I didn't want to waste any more money on it. RAM's still the same, front fan is still the same. The one thing I will say about the front fan is once I got Windows installed onto it, it became a lot quieter. And I don't know if that's just the fact that it's now actually in a warm place and being used, or if there was something driver related or something along those lines going on, but it is much, much better. So let me switch shots and I will show you this working and then we can wrap this video up. So yeah, that's about it guys. Hopefully you can hear how lovely and quiet this now is, how much better it's running. You'll see obviously the PC is on, we're into Windows. It is now running absolutely lovely. Try and give you a bit of a close-up of the machine as well. But it's so much better than it was. I mean, this is the same original fan. You can just see the purple glow down this side. that's in there. I've not changed it out. I've not really made a massive amount of change other than putting a wireless card in the bottom. It's the same graphics card, same motherboard, same RAM, and it just runs 1,000,000% better now it's been cleaned and is working. If you did wonder, it was an AMD A6 3.9 in there, 8 gig of RAM, and the graphics card turned out to be in NVIDIA GTX 750. And again, I'm running 120 gig PNY SSD and an additional 500 gig Seagate drive in there, just to really make it run well and have some decent data storage behind it. But otherwise, this is it. We're done. I think my kids are going to enjoy using this. I've got a better screen on the way as well, which will be another project coming up. But fundamentally, that's it. We're done. It's a lovely PC. I'm really pleased with how it came out. For £35, it was an absolute steal. Yeah, brilliant for me. I'm really pleased. But yeah, if you found this useful, please drop me a like, leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel. I always do try and respond to all the questions and comments that are in there. But yeah, please subscribe, and I'd love to see you in the next one. See you again.